Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Leslie with Love Ink and Paper. It's a little bit of a different time for me to come live. Most of the time you find me live on Tuesday evenings at 7. And I did my live last night and shared a couple of very cute and fun Halloween cards. Anyway, you could zip over to my YouTube channel or check the video tab on my Facebook page to see that. And I thought I would jump on this afternoon because my letter carrier dropped something fabulous off at my house Monday, I believe it was. Anyway, I'm really excited about this kit and I can't wait to open it with you. So I took off the label and I've opened it so far as to unwrap the tissue so we don't have to have all that noise. But other than that, I have not opened the actual packaging. Okay, so I'm just going to pop up and see. Nobody's found me just yet, but you will. Or you'll watch the replay, and that will be fine too. So there are Paper Pumpkin, so Stampin' Up's Paper Pumpkin subscription. They often make the October and the November kit coordinate. So there'll be things that you can use. Stamps that you can use in both kits, different kinds of things like that, so that they'll work together. And with the November kit, there's a card add-on because the November kit, let me just move that out of the way for a second and remind you of who I am. And then, so the November kit, which we're subscribing for right now, okay, has a little bit of, it has some treat packaging in it. Okay, so it's going to make 8 boxes for each of 2 designs. We're going to have a Mossy Meadow Stampin' Spot, some iridescent glitter accents on the paper, some linen thread, 8 food-safe bags, and our photopolymer stamp set. The size of the bags are 4 1/4 by 4 1/2, so not quite square, and they'll be 1 1/2 inches deep. Okay, so that's how, what kind of size. But if you're not necessarily a box maker or you want something else, there is an add-on with 20 card bases and 20 coordinating envelopes for $14. And I have ordered a couple of those. So I may be saving some of my pieces from this kit for those cards for when they come in. So let's take a look, shall we? All right. So first of all, a pretty box. It's just a pretty box. It would make a great gift box. So let's open it up. And our stamp spot is real red. And remember that I usually use my full-size pad rather than the smaller ink spot. Okay. Also remember, in your very first kit, you get a size D Stampin' block, acrylic block. I generally use some different sizes of the more ergonomic blocks that Stampin' Up sells and that I have in my online store. All right. So there's first and foremost this fun bottle of iridescent glitter glue. Now we used to sell something like this called Crystal Effects. It didn't necessarily have the glitter in it, but it was a very clear, strong glue that you could use to do accents, and then you could sprinkle glitter in it. This saves you that time. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you won't use the whole thing in there on these cards, so yeah. Now, my guess is they're going to want us to use this on the cards. Now this is going to take some time to dry, especially if you put it on sort of thick so it will have dimension to it. So you're going to want to either do that last and set them somewhere where they can dry, or you're going to want to do it first and set it aside and work on some of the other parts and then do some assembly. My gut says do it last, set them aside, and leave them alone and go do something else for a while till they dry. So, glitter glue. And here's our stamp set. So we have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, a cute little house. Celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season. And then we have some little tiny snowflakes. These might be pine cones and some little dots that could be snow. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got in here. So the tissue that came this time was red. I will try with my alternatives to do a faux linen card that uses the tissue as the background. That might be kind of fun if you haven't ever done that technique before. All right, so let's open this up. Already I like the envelopes. And I'm seeing dimensionals right here on top. So let's take a look at what we have here. Better keep putting those away or I'm going to lose them on my table. You guys have seen it happen before, you know. I just start setting things aside and can't find them later. All right, so we have our dimensionals. We have some pretty 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking there'll be 4 of these. Yep, there are. So it looks like these might layer with dimensionals in between so that we get the 3D effect, okay? And we have a long set of houses, and there are 4 of those. So my guess, without looking at the directions, my guess is these are going to go together, this is going to be together, and we're going to have some cards. All right, let's see. So we have a pretty envelope flap. Did they tease us and make, nope, no liners inside. So I may use these envelopes just as envelopes this time, or there may be a couple of times when I cut just the flap off, and you can always stamp on the white and use that. Let's see what we have here. We have 1. This is one style of card base. So we have some houses here. I'm kind of wondering if, because those are so small, we're kind of layering so that we get sort of the depth. Okay, that's, again, it's going to be my guess, but we'll see how it goes. And then we have some trees. So maybe we have, oh yes, a tall house in front of the trees. Maybe. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So we have some other trees, some that have stars and some that don't. So we have double trees, and we have single trees, and we have trees that have lights. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we didn't get any extras. Okay. So you may want to play around and see if, once we look at the directions, you may decide, no, I can use those trees for something else, or I want to do them the way Stampin' Up! Designed. Okay, so then we have 10 of these banners. Okay. Oh, now there's some sparkle, and we have 8, I believe. 8 of these. So they're going on the cards somewhere, maybe under these. I don't know. I may not want to cover that, so we'll see. All right, so some sparkles. We've got some glue dots. We'll just tuck those over there. And then they do give you a couple of extras when you have to stamp on something. So we get an extra. Plus you can always use your cardboard to test if you don't have grid paper or something. I do highly recommend our grid paper. It's pretty great. All right, I'm going to put the cardboard in the box. And let's take a look at the directions. So here is what they have been designed to look like. I'm seeing the little double tree here, I think. Maybe not. Nope. Looks like all the trees go on the one card. So that may be something, like I'm not a big fan of covering these things up. So there may be some alterations here, okay? Because I think that's overkill with the trees. But let's open it up and see, because I might change my mind. And I remember today I will do them as they design them. Okay, so let's do our sort, and then we'll look at the directions. Let me move the ink pad out of the way. So let's grab the bases. All right, so for the moon and tree base, we need one of these long sets of houses. And we need one of each style of tree. So we're going to take out a set of doubles. We're going to take out one of the little trees. And we're going to take out one of the big trees with the star. Because that's what it tells us we need. Okay? All right. So that's one. And I'll just set that right there. And then our next, oh, no, we're not done. Okay. So we need a sparkly. And we need a banner for our words. Okay, there's that. Now we can sort the other one. And that is this base. This one goes vertically. So we've got a horizontal card and we've got a vertical card. I'm going to just set this here because we do need one of each of our house die cuts. Okay. And we need a sparkly and a banner. Okay. All right, so that's what we need. All right, along with our block and our ink and our greeting. I will likely, because I tend to say Merry Christmas, I will probably stamp both of mine with Merry Christmas. Okay. But clearly this one could be Happy Holidays. Actually, either of them probably could be. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, so what we've got, oh, we've got a lot of dimensionals going on here. All right, so we'll do the horizontal card first. I'll just set that other one aside. We'll grab our Merry Christmas. All right. And remember that when I'm mounting my words, I tend to drop them on my placemat so that they can sort of go into their natural shape. And then I turn my block diagonally and pick that up so that I don't twist it out of shape. And I put it diagonally so that I have to make sure that I'm looking at the greeting to make sure it's straight and my eyes aren't getting tricked by the edge of the block. So let's do that first. But I also know that having the white on something else helps me find something, a different color. So on the cardboard. So let's do a little stamping and then we'll get those dimensionals on there. Okay. All right, so let's do that. Okay. And since I've got it out, I might as well do the one for the other one, and then that will save us some time later. So let's do them both like that. Try not, I've got red ink on the corner of this block. I was trying not to get it on my directions. All right, let's clean that up. There we go. Set that aside. Set one here, one with the other one, and then let's close the ink, because otherwise we could end up having it look like I, had a bad experience with a knife or something. I don't know. Richard always gets concerned if I come home with red ink all over my hands. Are you all right? Yes, I'm fine. All right, so let's get our dimensionals on here. So let's see. We need adhesive on the back, and remember, I don't generally use those little glue dots because it's I find it easier to use the others, but we will use some dimensionals. But since I have some already, I have some dimensionals that have the edges, so I'm going to finish these up first. So let's see here. We need some on there. Oh, look. That is just about right. Ta-da! So we'll put this right in the middle, just like that. Now that's ready. Okay, we'll put those over there. We'll move this out of the way, back into the box. And we will cut some individual pieces here, like that. And they talk about one, I don't know. Oh, this big tree, they do say two. So I'm going to do it like this. So see here, they show one at the top, one at the bottom. I'm choosing to use my edges this way. Okay, so there's one. Here's my little tree. They say we can have just one in the middle. This is a little bit longer, so I'm glad about that. That will help support it a little bit better. And then our double trees can have some up here and one down here, and then this last little piece over here. That may be overkill for those, but that's okay. It's fine. All right, so that used that up. So now we will grab this, and let's see where they're talking about dimensionals here. They gave us a nice big sheet of dimensionals for this one. All right, so one up here in the house, two over here on the side, two kind of near the middle, like that, and then one, sort of one in a little bit, and then one down here. All right, that should do it. Now, if sometimes it's hard to get the backings off, if you press with your thumb in the middle of them, it should loosen those edges right up so that you can take them off much easier. Okay, and then the foam springs back. It's no big deal. It's not like you're gonna damage them or anything. Okay. Okay. I have seen demonstrators that use the take your pick tool, the pointy end of the take your pick tool. That has never worked well for me. All right, so it looks like this goes on. and looks like it's lined up at the bottom. So I'm going to actually stand this up, okay, and stand this up and kind of put the bottoms near each other, but then make sure on the sides, whoops, hold on, maybe I can get them off of there. Yep, they didn't stick too much. What you want to do, though, is make sure that your sides, so I'm kind of trying to hold this apart, but also make sure that my sides are even with each other. Okay, that seems a little bit better. And we're down a little too far. Okay, so we're going to try something different. Let's try a different tact. Maybe that's not the best way to do it. Okay, trying to do it without bending the cards all out of shape. Okay, all right, try again. Let's see. I want to stay flat. I want to, that's a little better. Okay, I think that's better. There we go. All right. Then we want to add our trees. Now I think it looks really cute just like this, and I'm a little worried about adding all these trees because I don't really want to cover anything up. I don't want to cover the garage. I don't want to cover these houses. And I don't want to cover this house. So here's what I'm thinking. I may not do all of these. I may do just the small one. Oh, that doesn't look fabulous. What if I put the big one in the middle? Okay, that covers a window here, but not too bad. And then I could put the little one maybe over here. Yeah, I really think that this is too many. I think we're covering up too much, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to wait. Those might get used somewhere else. I kind of think this is beautiful just as is, and I could put a little star or something on this tree, or I could cut here and put the tree in behind. So we'll see. I may do some alternates. When I do my alternates, they may look similar and just change the pieces a little bit. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try and get those alternates done soon. Normally I do my alternates on a Monday, but I've started an in-studio thing on Mondays from 4 to 6. So I may just stay and do it at 6:30, or I may move it to another day that week. I'll try really hard to let you guys know. All right, dimensionals are off. I'm gonna put this one right here, okay, and then I'm gonna put this one over here, kind of down in the front, so I'm not covering too much. A little bit of the window, but not too much. Okay, so that is more or less what they're looking for. Okay, and we're gonna have just put a new refill in my seal. So we'll put that up here in the sky. Okay, like that. And then we'll add our greeting over the top of that and try hard not to cover the moon. Okay. And there again, the sparkly is pretty, but I'm not sure if we might want to use it for something else. Or if we want to cut it in half and well, actually cut it in, make 2 cuts. So cut it into thirds and keep a third from the middle and just put the little edges there. We'll have to check that out. That might be another way to save some. So anyway, that's pretty much card number 1, the way they say, minus 2 trees, because it seemed like overkill to me. And I get why they did that. 3 is a thing. All right, so then down here, they show where they want you to outline with the glitter glue. Okay, so you're going to outline the roof lines. Okay, and there's even some little lines there, and you could use that. And I'm going to grab my silicone mat so that I can start it off so that I don't get a huge blob. Okay, here it comes. So I'm going to just very carefully go along. Like this. And I'll tell you, you want to go kind of slow and make sure you're touching down every so often so that you don't get breaks in the glue. I have to go back and touch again like that. All right, so we got that house. And on this house, they want us to do the roof line. And a little bit over the windows. Like that. And a little along here. Like that. All right. Where else do we have? So it looks like pretty much the roof lines of all the houses. Right along the edge. Like this. Yep. And of course you can do, you know, whatever you feel is the best option. Okay, I may go in, oh, they are suggesting it. So they're suggesting that all of this snow, so under the window boxes here, these ledges, okay, a little bit here, kind of wherever you can see it. So over this door, under this window. And you could even do, they don't suggest it, but I will. I'm going to put a little on my trees too. I may do just some little bits to sparkle up my trees a little, like this. And I'm actually having the nozzle of this little teeny glue bottle touch the paper so that I can help spread it out a little bit, because what I don't want is to have a big blob. Okay, so by having this touching the paper, I'm kind of dragging the glue, and that helps it not leave a big, huge glop. Okay. And I do have one spare kit if anybody is interested. If you didn't happen to get this one, I'm not sure. Usually after there's the second billing, which is on the 20th, so that'll be Friday. In case anybody had, had to change their credit card and forgot, or any of those kinds of things. So they want to make sure that all of our subscribers get the option first. And then they may have refills or full kits available. But the trick is you have to be a subscriber to get those. So if you are not a subscriber, you really should be. And if you need a kit, you need to let me know so that I can try and help you get one. Okay? All right, so then I'm just going to, I might even put some tiny dots up on some of the snowy things up here. Just a few, not all of them, just a few, just to have a little bit of sparkle. These are going to be sparkly cards for sure, you guys. Really sparkly. So you can do as much or as little as you kind of want to do. All right. And let me bring this up so that you can see how sparkly they are. All right. So I don't know if you can see. Of course, the holder is right where, so I can't see what you're seeing. See if you can see that. I don't know if you can. Anyway, there is a lot of sparkle. All right, so we're going to let that set and dry, and we'll do our card number 2. All right. So we already did, let's see here. Let's pull our pieces in. So we have our vertical kind of card base. Okay, let's get my bone folder and give that a nice strong crease. Okay, so we have those two houses in the background. Okay, and they want both of these up on dimensional, so I'm telling you guys, these are gonna be fat cards. All right, who's going first? This one, I think. Yeah. All right. So let's get some dimensionals on these. Okay. So this one gets one up in the top. And I want a couple here. And a couple, you know what? I'm going to do this a little differently than they did. I'm going to try and spread them out so that we don't have any spaces that don't have dimensionals. So I think I might have added one extra. All right, then we'll do some over here. Like this. All right. Yeah, I'm putting a few extras on this one as well. All right, that should do it. So, let's see here. Put my elbow right in all the my little pile of dimensionals over here. My arm went in it and they were all stuck to my sweater. All right. So let's make sure, that we are even this way. Looks pretty good. And there. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to put our glitter base here. Down here. And a couple of dimensionals on here. Like this. There we go. And then we can, let me just move this over so that I don't put my arm in those again. And then you can just go right along the edges. Okay, I'm going to do those window boxes and window sills again. Go along the roof line here. Right along all the windows. All right. Here we go. Almost done. This one, and then I'll bring them both back in so you can see them. And I am gonna, again, add a little bit to parts of the snow on the trees. You do have to keep pretty constant pressure on the glue bottle to keep the glue coming out, just so you know. All right. All right. I just turned it so that I don't end up putting my hand in the glue. And I'm trying to work sort of like not working yourself into, you know, mopping yourself into a corner. Having to wait for the floor to dry before you can leave. Kind of like that. Mop yourself to the door. So let's just put some tiny drops on some of these snowflakes, just so we have and even if the glitter doesn't show up in these dots, just the fact that they are clear and have dimension to them will add something to the card. All right, so that's our box for this month. And here are the cards that it makes. Okay. Oh, let's take a peek at the back here, because they always give us a little bit of, so this coordinates with some of the catalog items. So they've changed this one up to a smaller card. Somebody's stamped, used the house and made on a circle. Okay, so they've used the stamps, so that would be a fun one to do. They've stamped the house and the little trees. We've got Santa and his sleigh up here. Okay, so that's another way to use if you happen to have, I think there's a set in the annual catalog that has, no, not in the annual catalog, probably in our the September to December. Okay, and then there is a little bit of take your crafting to the next level. So some tools that, while these paper pumpkin kits give you everything you really need to have, a few things are kind of nice to have. A really good pair of snips, possibly a heat tool and some embossing powder, okay, some Stampin' blends, a trimmer, a paper trimmer, okay. So some of those things just are kind of nice to have if you're going to be branching out. If you're just going to get the kit and do them exactly the way Stampin' Up! Shows you, no worries. You don't need to get a thing. But you can certainly check out my online store and add snips or the more ergonomic blocks in some different sizes. Because sometimes if you're doing something small, a big block like this feels like too much. And so it's nice to have some of the smaller sizes. Anyway, there you go. So those are the cards as they were designed, which are quite lovely. And then I will be back probably early to mid next week with some alternatives. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.